Yo, as y'all can see, I'm back with another reaction. Today we got SEC schedules are crazy in 2025. Now, a lot of y'all, I was so glad when I saw this video just come across my For You junk, cause a lot of people be saying that the Big Ten and the Big 12 and the ACC, well no, majority of the people say the Big Ten is the new SEC, which I completely disagree because of y'all schedules. And you know what I'm saying, the SEC schedules are tough. You know what I'm saying? If y'all was to play a lot of SEC schools, I don't feel like y'all have 1 and 2 L's. Y'all have about at least minimum four, 3 to 4. You know what I'm saying? Maybe five. That's just my opinion because you're not gonna beat every SEC school if you're in the Big Ten. And I mean, you just go and look at the goddamn what's the fucking word? You can go and look at the what's the word, bro? You can go and look at the goddamn stats, whatever you want to call it. You go and look at it in 4K. Like, if you go and look at when a Big Ten played the SEC school versus when we played them, I really feel like we got the ups on them. Like, we finna get into the video.
Scheduling in this
Watch, I
sport
bet
is
he
so
he
broken.
gonna agree to it. I don't think I'm explaining it right, but more of the story of what I'm trying to say. SEC play better comp than the Big Ten, and people trying to say that the Big Ten is the new SEC. There
It's
we
so
go.
broken, and it's their fault.
I be over
It's the
explaining, bro.
fault of anyone who advocated for expanding these conferences and
Y'all
realigning
finna
these
see though.
conferences. College football was never meant for a conference to be coast to coast. College football was never meant to have conferences 16 or 18 teams deep, but yet here we are. And
It's
so,
crazy.
scheduling is stupid right now.
It
Even
is.
league scheduling is stupid right now. So, do we at least agree on that? Like, do we all at least agree that it's pretty dumb to have 18 teams or 16 teams in a conference and have the vast disparity in strength of schedule, team A to team B? I mean, last year, I looked at Florida and then I looked at Missouri. These schedules were from different planets, and yet
Now I ain't gonna lie
allegedly they
though.
played in the same
That's a
conference.
fact
So
too.
here's what I
Some teams in the SEC do have um a better schedule than others. Like Florida, like what he just said, Florida versus Missouri. Florida's schedule is way tougher than Missouri.
would love to do, and we've been working on this internally. I am really, really passionate, maybe the right word. I'm really aggressive about properly defining strength of schedule for our own purposes. Purpose, the plural of purpose.
Bro, and Bama always in like the top 20, you want to say, top 10. When it come down top 15, hey, whatever you want to say, because I ain't really been keeping up with it. Because at this point, scheduling don't matter, so I start keeping up with it. But it's like Bama always have a good strength of schedule ahead of other teams, but they always reward the team that's like top 100, top 50, and we always top 25 minimum. So I just stopped looking at the strength of schedules at that point because I feel like it was really just a waste of time, bro. Like the comedians, them, they don't look at it, bro.
In house. I just want to know that for my own self.
Hopefully he showed an
However, I
example
also
of
wish
two
college
schedules,
football was
like
a
a
lot more
SEC and a
dutiful
Big 10 or
about
Big
properly
12 or
defining
something.
strength of schedule. So, again, there's a problem, but what are we about around here? We want solutions. So, in house around here lately, we've been working on blending the proper criteria to properly define strength of schedule. And by that, I just mean I want to be able to pull up your 1 through 12. Who are you playing this year? And I want to really know how tough your schedule is. And by tough, I don't mean let's just add up the combined record of your opponents at the end of the year. Because, if you are what your record says you are, then your schedule is a culmination of what your opponent's
Bro,
records say they are.
people be going
That's
12 and
just
0.
kindergarten 19.
A 12 and 0 team, no, a 9 and 3 team or a 10 and 3 team, whatever you want to say. Yeah, I'm gonna say 10 and 3 because yeah, no 12, no a 9 and 3 team. A 9 and 3 team can be better than a 12 and 0 team. You feel what I'm saying? Because the 9 and 3 team can be a team from the SEC, and they play people like Bama, Georgia, Texas, etc., LSU, Ole Miss. I can keep going. Versus a team that's in the Big Ten that's playing for freaking nobody. the 9-3 team is gonna be better than the 12-0 team. But if I was to actually, like, me saying this now, I'm already know I'm gonna get hate for it. Like, people don't like the truth when it comes down to the SEC versus other conferences, bro. Like, y'all gotta realize that we literally have all the comp in the SEC. Nigga, we're literally beating up on each other. Who are y'all playing? Who is the Big 10 and Big 12 and ACC playing, bro? Nobody.
1984. We've come a long way since then. I think we got a little better understanding of the sport as it blends with data and mathematics and logic than we did back then. So, what we do in-house every year, this year no exception, is I do like to go over in this time of year, because we haven't even gone through spring yet, I like to look at an odds board. Okay? I like to know, hey, what are the biggest sports books in the country saying about a team's odds to win the title this upcoming year? I go look at your roster talent, and I weigh that. I look at the quality of your coaching staff and your organization, and I weigh that. And we throw all of these things in a blender. Take all that criteria, just toss it in a blender, weight it properly, mix it properly. There's no one thing that's disproportionately weighted there. Although, I mean, I would argue roster grade is pretty heavily weighted. But what we do is we do all that, and then we spit it.
Okay, look at this right here, bro. This another thing. Points are given for the strength of opponent and location of game. Nigga, SEC teams be going on the road versus another SEC team. Like, okay, Bama. Bama, a hard place to play. You got Bama. You got the 12th man, which is Texas A&M. You got Death Valley. You got Athens, Georgia. Nigga, that's 4 already. 4 of the toughest places to play in college football. I just named 4 of them. You got Bama, Death Valley, the 12th man, and Georgia, of course. Like, these 4 teams give you pure hell. You got the Swamp. Nigga, pure hell when you go to these 5 schools, bro. And it's just SEC. You know what I'm saying? And we literally beat up on each other when it comes to, like, points and all this stuff. And then again, the game be so competitive, we probably not even score a lot of points. You know what I'm saying? I know we like 1 and 2 tiers. Not fuck that 2. We fucking one tier, bro. First to 1 tier. I mean, let's see what he got to say about this.
And I filter the teams into 8 different tiers. You know, so that when I look at your schedule,
I know we tier 1.
I don't see that you're playing Akron, and then you're playing Charlotte, and then you're playing Clemson, and then you're playing Ohio State. I see that you're playing a tier 8, and then a tier 6.
Like Ohio State and Oregon, they don't really play nobody.
That's how
bro.
I like to define your schedule, and that's a living, breathing rating that changes throughout the year, and so on and so forth. So, before we move on, I want to ask everyone: does that make sense to you? I just laid out the basic logic. You may have minor tweaks. Us keep the show free. College football. We're trying to do here. So, I'm looking in the live chat. A lot of people say yes, this makes sense. The reason I wanted you to answer that, or if you will list 11 of the 12 toughest schedules this upcoming year. So, all right. So, with that in mind, I need to inform you, the SEC has 11 of the 12 toughest schedules this upcoming year. I'm just pausing for a second, because 11 of the 12 toughest schedules this upcoming year. Inform you, the SEC has 11 of the 12 toughest schedules this upcoming year.
Out of the top 12, we got 11.
I'm just pausing for a second.
You let that sink.
Because we have thousands upon thousands of examples, at least, of people who are listening to the show or watching the show who just agreed that the logic makes sense, that are now calling it SEC homerism, and I didn't even change anything. In fact, I kind of had you agree on it before I presented the number. The number's the number. Number could change. The number will change because we haven't gone through spring. We haven't done our own inputs. So this is a very, very preliminary stat that I'm holding in my hand. But
watch how people change their answers. I bet a lot of people, I know I didn't play like the full video. I skipped like 3 minutes. But watch people change how they were saying, oh, it makes sense what he's saying. Ooh, it makes sense. But now since he didn't say out of the top 12 toughest schedules as of right now, SEC got 11 of them.
just a very, very broad February sort of look at this. And this is another reason scheduling is so broken in this sport right now.
Shit crazy.
The SEC teams, we got 16 of them. SEC teams face 54 combined Tier 1 opponents this year. A lot of that's in conference
I don't think
play.
people hearing them.
The Big Ten faces 40. Okay,
Look
so SEC.
Versus Tier 1 opponents. Tier 1 is like good, like the best. Nigga, we got 54. The Big Ten only got 40. You know what I'm saying? The ACC and Big 12, hey, y'all don't even be doing all that damn talking, bro. But they be saying the Big Ten is the new SEC. But, like, this shit literally 4K. Like I was trying to tell y'all at the beginning of the video. I didn't know what the fuck word to use, but this shit literally 4K.
54 Tier 1 opponents. Big Ten, a little behind, but still way up there. 40 Tier 1 opponents.
I mean,
the
40,
ACC
okay,
has a
but
combined 18.
You still can't. We 50 plus, though. You know what I'm saying?
Tier 1 opponents, the Big 12 has 1. And I think that was an out-of-conference
And some of these
like
people be overrated, bro.
12 of the 16 teams in the SEC are either in Tier 1 or Tier 2. That is not to say that we would use this system to project that 12 SEC teams finish in like the top 15. Of course, that's impossible. We're talking about the difficulty you have in playing team on any given Saturday.
It's hard, bro. It's hard in the SEC.
Schedule. So the
Big Ten be scheduling to teams that we would freaking demolish.
A system like this is built to be self-fulfilling for the myth that is SEC and or Big Ten supremacy. And the thinking there is, well, of course, if you game the criteria.
And another thing, bro, last year people was coming up to me saying Colorado can beat Alabama. What? We're like, what type of world are we in? Colorado can beat Alabama. Colorado can beat Alabama. I'm just looking like, nigga, do y'all hear y'allself? Colorado can beat Bama just because they got Shedeur Travis, which, you know what I'm saying, respect to them boys, him. But, like, two people not finna win you the game, bro. They just not, bro. Like, that's when I was just like, y'all just finna start arguing overall on this stuff. And look at just the point spread of all this. It's crazy.
On the front end, you can make the SEC or the Big Ten or any conference look as good as you want to on the back end. Which
we literally beat up on each other.
Asked, does the logic make sense? Because, see, when we run our data sets, when we run our modeling, the computer doesn't even know what an SEC team is or a Big Ten team is. So the insinuation there for anyone who thinks that there's foul play involved here would be, well, yeah, the computer doesn't know what an SEC team is, but you know, because you programmed the thing, you know that the SEC played a lot of games against any tier of the SEC.
Here we freaking go. Let's get into it. Here we go. Notre Dame 2025 season schedule. Trash. This is going to be a good opponent to play. This might be a good opponent to play. You just never know with Arkansas. They just got to come to play football. But everybody else, I bet you Notre Dame be in a close game with all these folks, right? But they gonna probably find a way to win. They gonna lose this Miami game. Miami in the ACC. I mean, Miami probably top 3 in the ACC or whatever, top 2. I give them that. But when they come out to the SEC, we destroying Miami. We destroying Purdue. We destroying Boise State, NC State, USC, Boston College, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, Stanford. We were running through this schedule. If this was Bama, undefeated season. Simple. Undefeated. If there was any SEC team, really, undefeated season. It's facts, bro. Like, a lot of people probably say that Miami, Texas A&M probably be their best games. And then they gonna run the table. I mean, some people probably can argue with USC. And maybe Arkansas, depending on how they do this year. But other than that, they finna run through the table. And then, let's just say they go undefeated. Now, let's just say they lose maybe Texas A&M and they probably lose to Miami. Then they win the rest of them. So that's like 10-2. Right? People gonna say Notre Dame is a championship contender. But when they get in the playoffs, and and when they get on down the stretch in the playoffs, and they play against people like Bama, Georgia, you know what I'm saying, Texas, and they're gonna be like, damn, what was the Miami Wolves from the regular season? And that's what that goes back to what me and Bert saying. Like, it's different, bro. Like, look who they playing versus a SEC schedule. I hope he saw SEC schedule.
So they're playing a national schedule.
Yeah, he gonna show
they'll play a top ACC team in Miami. They'll play a good one from the.
I mean, Miami, they might be alright, but still, though, Miami play trash too, though. And people be bragging on them.
Tier 2 team.
If Miami was in the SEC, I don't feel like they'll be as good as people say they are.
Texas A&M this year, they'll play a tier 3 or tier 4 in the SEC on the road at Arkansas. But look at the totality of that schedule. It's a really manageable schedule. We'd have it in the 50s.
Did I say that?
I think as of right now.
Didn't I just say that?
We aren't talking about the same sport. Is what I'm getting at. The whole purpose behind this.
It's crazy.
The whole reason you have to talk about college football like this in a way
they want to go off
you would
strength
never
of
talk about
schedule
pro
and the more
sports
deserving
is because
team.
in the NFL,
but
the first
they don't be putting the best teams in, bro. Like, based off schedule, they like this record stuff be getting to their head, bro. When in reality, like the SEC teams are playing difficult schedules, bro, compared to people that like this. But they in like the conference they in, like Independence or something.
Hardest schedule and the 32nd hardest schedule are relatively close together compared to college football, where you got Oklahoma this year. I want you to listen to this.
All right, before he even talk, let me talk. Trash. That's gonna be a good game. Auburn gonna be a good game. Oklahoma and Auburn. Okay, cool. Trash. Good game. Missouri, it just depends on Missouri gonna be Missouri. It just depends on how they come out and play. LSU, good game. Okay, so you got Auburn, you got Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU. 7. There's gonna be 7 tough games on Oklahoma's schedule, bro. 7. Not 6, not 5, not 4, not 3, not 2, not 1. 7. We're not even gonna count Missouri. You got Auburn. You just never know how Auburn gonna be this year. Auburn always get Bama a run for their money. You know what I'm saying? Auburn just not a bad team. So you got Auburn. You got Texas. South Carolina be slept on. They are slept on. South Carolina is actually good. Ole Miss, actually good. Tennessee, good. Bama, of course we good. LSU. Like, come on, bro. And then look at it. They got to go to Tennessee, tough on the road game. They got to come to Bama, tough on the road game. South Carolina can give you a run for their money, too. Then they got to go to South Carolina. You feel what I'm saying?
Oklahoma this year will play 6 games against Tier 1 teams.
And I just named 7.
They'll play 3 games against Tier 2 teams. Brigham Young will play 0 games against Tier 1 or Tier 2 teams.
Look at this shit. And these be the people that go undefeated. These be the teams that go undefeated and get in the playoff over a team like this that'll probably lose, let's just say they lose 3 games. Which would you rather take? These people lost 3 games, and look who they playing, versus BYU who lost no games against a nobody schedule, right? Make it make sense now. Just make it make sense.
And I'm supposed to believe you are what your record says you are, and they're playing the same sport. In reality, I mean, Brigham Young's got 10 games versus teams Tier 4 or worse. In reality, I think most people would look at that, and if Oklahoma went 9-3, you would consider them better than a 10-2 Brigham Young.
Did I just say that? But he said 10-2 BYU though.
In a logic-based world where this is properly weighted, you would have a world where an 11-1 Brigham Young is not superior to an 8-4 Oklahoma, depending on how that played out.
Hey, bro, enough said.
Schedules is...
Enough said, bro. This guy know what he be talking about. He gonna tell you exactly how it is. Enough said. Enough said, bro. But yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, and sub up, bro. Go sub up to the main channel at Spud G. And yeah, bro. This should be the end of the conversation. When it come down to the SEC versus any Big 10, ACC, Big 12, any conference, just remember, the SEC is your daddy. You know, we own you. You know, we'll always own you, continue to own you. You can't compare this. The SEC has built up some that I don't think can be taken away from us, bro. But that's all I gotta say for this video. We're gonna leave it at this. Hey, you still got something to say about my SEC? You just don't know football at this point.